Man, how you doing?
It's good.
Dude, okay, so I was thinking about this morning. So much shit has happened since the last time we did a podcast.
I saw it on the analytics. You know when it was? It was October 2021. So this is reboots are in.
Reboots are in.
It's we're basically doing the same thing. We haven't changed it.
Not really, no. Yeah. No, I mean
It's a
but I mean
reimagining.
I mean on the the fanfare stuff with like comics, Star Wars, Star Trek, all that,
Yeah.
so much has
much.
happened. I mean, we're when we talk Marvel, when we talk Star Wars, like we did do some on the Mandalorian,
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going.
but I think that was season 1.
Season 2?
Did we do season 2?
Yeah, I think we did season 2.
Okay.
But
We
then
did
no Boba Fett.
No Boba Fett.
0 because that
That's
was started and gone already.
Yeah.
Then Obi-Wan's coming.
Obi-Wan's coming already. Then we go back to Marvel, and I think we were WandaVision and maybe, I don't remember if we talked about that on mic, but the what ifs.
Oh, no, we did talk about
We
the what
talked
ifs.
a little bit, I
Yeah,
think, about what ifs.
Yeah.
And then we went into, and then that was pretty much it. And then after that, there were, WandaVision, and then there was the Hawkeye
Mm-hmm.
For Disney Plus on the series. There was, did we talk Captain America Winter Soldier?
Falcon Winter
Soldier?
We talked about it badly.
Yeah, like
in private.
In private, yeah, badly in private.
We trashed it in private.
And then we talked about then we haven't talked about Moon Knight, obviously, because that's just wrapped up.
And I haven't even watched it yet. I'll be honest. I just can't.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that a little bit. And then, okay, for movie wise, Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home. And then Eternals came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which I never saw in theaters, but we watched at home. Shang-Chi.
Yeah, we watched Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And then, but I don't think we've talked about it. No. I don't think so. And then Doctor Strange was next, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Doctor. So this leads perfect into the topic. So okay, we watched Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Saw it in theaters.
We're late to the game.
By a week. Big deal. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Our
what are we going to talk about the Johnny Depp trial? Like,
I was going to bring it up.
You're going to bring what is that? Yeah, I know.
All right. Are we going to talk Johnny Depp or Doctor Strange?
No, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Like Johnny, I can't. It's just they deserve each other. You know.
All right, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. So, okay, let's talk. I want to ask a broader question.
Yeah.
Before we go into Doctor Strange.
Let's do it.
Is the MCU / potential Avengers films in trouble?
I just ordered the paperback for Secret Wars. And after I read that, because I know nothing about the Secret Wars.
Okay.
So I think I literally
But do you think they're even going that way?
Listening to some other shows, it sounds like that's the way they're going to go.
Because you basically have so you can do sort of Galactus, like in terms of big sort of multi-movie sort of arcs.
Yeah.
You pretty much do Galactus, Secret Wars.
See, the God Butcher has a big role in the comics, apparently, that I'm not familiar with either, but fits into where they're going. And like, I am not excited at all for Love and Thunder.
Me neither.
Like, I have
it looks like a bunch of goofs.
It's just too.
Like, I thought Ragnarok was borderline too goofy already.
Yeah.
Like 10% too goofy.
Yeah.
Especially dealing with such heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah,
it should have been heavier. And so I thought it was already a little goofy.
Yeah. And like, there's a very fine line to walk when you're playing with comedy and tragedy.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, like, him losing his homeworld, like, the comedy took so much air out of that balloon.
Yeah.
For the tragedy part that you didn't. I don't like it when I don't feel like there's something at stake, because then I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, how are they going to get out of that?
And
how is this going to
100%
move forward? And I'm starting at this point. I'm so deflated.
Yeah.
On and then the chaos of everything, like even with Shang-Chi, Eternals, Doctor Strange, I'm so I don't know where I don't like they're just movies to me now.
Right. There's no like thread.
Yeah.
And then you can't say, and then that's the problem with, so I guess we can talk more about it when we get into it, but it's like I feel like the multiverse was a big mistake.
Two, multiverse and time travel.
Yeah. Big mistake.
Because you can do nothing matters anymore.
Right. And so you can't have like, how can and then somehow between Loki and WandaVision / Doctor Strange.
Oh, Loki. We forgot all about Loki. That's how bad that one was.
But between those two, it's like, so you screwed up time and the multiverse. Like, so now what's going on with this time problem?
Yeah.
With Kang, but then also what's going on with them, and then you, like, in my issue is in my head, I don't like understand what the big movie is going to be.
Yeah.
What is it going to be about? And also, more importantly, I don't care about anybody who's going to be in it.
Yeah. Like, unless like somehow Marvel pulls this big aha moment out of their hat, that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more interested in Spider-Man right now than I am anything else.
Right.
Like with the multiverse with Spider-Man and Venom being sucked out of that universe, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And the
symbiote.
The symbiote being left behind.
Yeah.
And then him not being known by anybody. Maybe it's because it's a nostalgia thing because of our age and our demographic. But now I'm going like, oh, that's the comics. Like, now Spider-Man's poor.
Yeah.
He's just a student.
Yeah.
He's now relatable to a much larger audience, because he wasn't really relatable in the Avengers, because like, oh, he just got all this money and tech from Stark and whatnot. But now he's back to just being the young.
Yeah.
Nope. He's one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but he's got these crazy powers. And then Venom is now in that universe.
Right.
And we didn't talk Morbius. And then, so now it's kind of like, oh, this is all right. This is where it's going to go. And I can see a path. And now how you tell that story is exciting.
But he almost has to be like away from the MCU for a bit and kind of have his own path, have his own story.
I agree 100%.
Before he kind of like comes
100%.
back in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The way they did No Way Home with Doctor Strange, I was like, oh, like it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything after No Way Home, I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I like, you had me jacked, and then I just got lost after that.
Yeah.
Like, there was just nothing there. Have you watched Morbius?
I tried.
Okay. You didn't make it to the credit scene?
No.
Okay.
But I heard but the thing is that that was already spoiled, because everybody was like, that makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And I don't know how they're going to explain that.
I don't know.
Because
it's like, how does he have the Vulture suit in the Sony universe?
Exactly.
Why does Morbius care about like, why would he even like give a shit about Spider-Man?
Yep.
At all?
Exactly. He's never run into him.
He's never run into him. He doesn't even know what he's done.
Yep.
It makes really no sense.
It's real. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's, as a fan, that's frustrating. It's
right.
It's frustrating to not. I like being misled, knowing that there's an aha moment.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. It's like, well, it could be this, could be that, could be this. I'm like, I don't.
It just always. It's just the MCU, like, well, and is because it was Marvel Studios before Disney got involved.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel Studios, was for the fans, and they just said, we're going to make good movies, and it almost felt like they were always looking at the camera, winking.
Right.
It was almost like, right? Remember
like
that?
They're breaking the third wall.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, they're always bringing back, like,
fourth wall.
There's always stuff from other movies that they like. It all threads through and it all makes sense. And as soon as you start doing stuff that just doesn't make sense, it's like.
But is it because we've been spoiled from the originals?
But I don't think it's not spoiling. That's just good movies. That's like saying, well, did Jurassic Park spoil you for every movie after that, or Independence Day, or like any of those sort of like tentpole, Titanic.
Yeah, if you really break down Jurassic Park, every one of those movies is the exact same freaking thing, just a bigger dinosaur.
The rest were terrible. Like the rest is just, and still now
they're doing another one.
But it's just, why can't? I think it's just because you get used to quality.
Yeah.
Like you get used to a formula that works
Well, and storytelling.
and
like,
good storytelling.
Like, when they did Incredible Hulk with
Norton.
Norton.
Yeah.
That scene where Stark walks into the bar.
Right.
And goes like, hey, here you have a bit of a problem. He's like, here you got a bit of a problem. And then he goes, we're putting this thing together. That whole like, like there was so many moments in all of those movies from Iron Man. Like the only ones that kind of broke it were like Iron Man 3 was just a movie.
Yeah.
Thor, the third one, no, the second one, Dark World was. I mean, they had to do it to introduce the ether, I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, it was kind of just a movie, and it didn't really like tie into anything. I'm trying to remember what the credit scene was on Dark World.
What was the credit scene on Dark World? Shoot.
Because it would have had something to do to tie the ether to.
Was it the ether getting put in the vault?
Crap. I can't remember.
No, wasn't it the ether? Yeah, wasn't it the yes, that's what it was. It was the Asgardians going to the collector and dropping off the ether.
Yes, you are right. Right. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought it back, but then you're like pretty much just watching the movies.
Yeah.
For the credit scene. And like that was weird about Doctor Strange for me. I was more interested in what they were going to do at the end
than
it was the movie. And then
they still here, spoiler. And then they still screwed it up.
They still screwed it up
because it's just like same thing. It's like you have to help stop these like whatever these incursions or whatever multiverse incursions. But it's like we went through the whole thing about how the whole point of the movie was them fixing it.
Yeah. And it's like you did another one.
Oh, you did. It's like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, I'm always ready. Like. And the dark and the eye. So I learned all about that stuff over the week.
The Darkhold.
So the Darkhold's gotten a hold of him.
Yeah.
It was because he was taking souls to bring his corpse back to life. That's the ultimate sacrifice he's gonna. It's pretty bad. So I got all that. I don't get how he's so cool about it though.
But is it because it's corrupting him? So he's cool with it.
That could be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I didn't like about the very ending, and I love Bruce Campbell. I love Bruce Campbell. We've been watching Burn Notice. It was a TV series he was part of. I love Bruce Campbell. I didn't like that at the very end they made the movie about the director. Like because it was Sam Raimi, The Darkness, Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell, and Bruce Campbell acted like Ash.
Yeah.
He punched himself in the face with the hand.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. But had they just left it at the hot dog cart halfway through the movie, everyone would have went, that's so cool. But then they did it's over. And I was like, like now, I don't know. Just it for some reason for me, it just took something away from it. Took the meaning away from the movie. It took the focus away from the movie.
Yeah, like I get in a way, and I know it's so funny because I actually, and your katana gave me another moment that I forget what it was like to be scared at a movie.
Right.
And it's sort of, you forget. And so, you have this, like this young kid who's watching it and is just terrified. I know.
Had I known.
I know, but you wouldn't know, right?
I wouldn't have brought her to a 7-year-old to that movie.
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of anyway. So that was kind of like a nice.
It wasn't that it was like gory, terrifying. Like there wasn't people getting ripped. It was just like
lots of jump scares.
Yeah, and like when Wanda comes to that mirror.
Yeah,
the water mirror,
and
and then like her face is all cut out because the glass is cutting her and stuff. I was just
so
like,
in a way, like
shite.
In a way, I understand what they were doing because they always asked what made the Marvel movies successful, and like we all said, it was like obviously great character development, great story, having a over arc that had a plan and everything was threaded together, and caring about what the fans thought. But also was that like they made every movie feel different.
Yeah.
So I forget who was that said it was somebody from Marvel that said it, but it's like every time we go to the movies and we hire a director, the director makes his movie.
That's
so we make the one they used was, they said like Thor is the fantasy movie.
Right.
Winter Soldier was the espionage movie. Ant-Man was the like comedy heist movie.
Yeah.
That's, so in a way it's like this was their horror movie. So that makes sense. Like bring Sam Raimi in, let's make what would a Marvel horror movie, even the like script of Multiverse of Madness, even the like the titles, the word mark they used was like creepy. Like it had like a kind of a sickle and like and so that's cool, but it's almost.
But how do you create a giant movie with a bunch of little movies that are so different?
Well, and I think,
because now how do you bring that dark when you get to the end? How do you bring that darkness, that comedy? And that's what I mean. Like there is an insane. I feel there's an insanely fine line between tragedy and darkness and comedy, seriousness and loosey goosey. There's a line that I don't know how you navigate that, especially when you're dealing with so many, like you said, directors just creating their own movies. How do you?
Well, they did
bring
like
that all together.
I don't know. I mean, you look at it's just. They call it they landed the unlandable movie, but like Infinity War and Endgame, like as you take it as a whole.
But you know what I would have, I was thinking about this the other day. It almost would have been better to end Infinity War on the tragedy. That certain people didn't come back.
Certain people didn't.
Right. But like of all the main characters, like end their story if you want to create a new one, and maybe leave like a guide, from the old, like a Doctor Strange, and the kids come up, because we're gonna run out of time on all these characters over the time that it takes to make movies.
Yeah, so agreed.
And you're seeing that,
but the problem is they didn't care about time.
But that's the problem.
Yeah. So they didn't care about time. Like, so before it's like that's the long game. You're like, we don't care if you don't know who Iron Man is. We'll give him. We're gonna give him 3 movies.
Yeah.
Thor, like, Ant-Man, like the Guardians. They were like, yeah, we'll give them each a full hour. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like Kate Bishop. Like, who are the Avengers now? Kate Bishop, America Chavez, female Loki. What? I don't care.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't care. America Chavez, they couldn't even explain what her powers were. That
was another big problem.
They couldn't. It's
the
always
most powerful
same,
character in the movie was
right. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then it's like
was a footnote.
And then it's kind of like, and then okay, I can open up the portal to like the different multiverses. Okay, but then also, so then you're useless in a fight.
Yeah.
Oh no, we can't make her useless in a fight because we're shitty writers. So, okay, now she can like do this punch thing. Like she's like punching, you know what I mean? She was like punching Wanda in the face. That's her. But
when I found it really weird that it would always be a star. I don't know that
star punch.
Like when she hit it, and then the portal that opened was a star. And to me, I was like, I don't know. Like,
it's just, and then it's like Miss Marvel now. It's like they didn't want to like. Her actual comic book powers were too goofy, so then they're like, well, then there's these cosmic thingamabobbers that she can do thingies with. It's like, Kate Bishop is like, are you just really? She's just a overachiever of some kind.
Okay,
right. But it's like, so I just don't understand.
Okay, more frustrated with it now.
Yeah, but it's like, so I don't get when Avengers, what is it now? Avengers 1, Avengers 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So, like, what is that? Like, what are they dealing with, and why do we care? And they don't have any... Like, if you care so much, Marvel, or more specifically Disney, then make an America Chavez movie.
Yeah.
And you can have Doctor Strange in it.
Do what you did originally.
Right.
Do the character development. Do it right. Don't skip any steps.
Don't skip any steps.
Because that is what Fox fucked up on.
Yes, exactly.
they skipped a bunch
They
of
skipped
steps.
steps.
And then they
And
tried
DC
to
started
go,
skipping
and they
steps
started
too.
skipping steps too. Actually, yeah, that's actually a
Badly.
better
Like the death
example.
of Superman, the Justice League. That
That's
was
a
like
better
that was
example,
such a
is
like
DC.
a misfire. Like that was such a like a blowing their load so early that like
Yes.
because they just didn't want to leave $1 on the table. And it's like, but you need to leave the dollars so you can get the billions later.
Yes.
You know?
See, that's a business 101.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
You know, you're so worried
Yeah,
about
no,
the
you hit-
pennies, you're letting the dollars run out the door.
You hit the nail on the head for
Right.
sure right there. Because,
You know?
yeah, the lack of character development when people were getting beat up in DC, I was like, I don't give a shit.
No,
Like,
that's right.
I
who
have
cares?
no emotional
No.
attachment. When when are they bringing Keaton in?
That's with the Flashpoint.
Oh, that's Flashpoint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna care more about Keaton in
Right.
that movie than
Yeah.
I am
But
gonna
then
give a
even then,
rat's about
but then
Flash.
that's the thing too. It's like they don't know, and it's more of a like a Hollywood problem
Yeah.
than it is like any
Well,
particular studio.
And that's a good point too, because when different properties own different franchises, and they've got all these people talking, like there's those greedy people that want the money
Yeah.
now. When it's like, okay, like if we stretch this out over 10 years, you're gonna make like 10 times what you're gonna do if you try and do this all in one shot, and have a bunch of people pissed off at you that you made a bad movie.
Right.
And with Marvel, just because of those different franchises, like there's no way in hell Sony's ever gonna let go of the Spider-Man franchise.
No, they'll just keep
Like
giving
they-
Marvel as much percentage as it
Exactly.
takes to hold on to
Exactly.
it. Right?
It's like renting out IP.
Yeah.
Like, just rent out the IP, right? No, and we don't have to do nothing, right?
Yeah.
Just sit back.
but but that idea that like you're left with and it's because of how they're writing them. It's because of the people they're getting to write it. It's like, it's a huge problem. The death of the like male fantastical superhero, right? The idea that it's like there is no more burly, godlike,
Yeah.
V-shaped, monster of a man taking care of business.
Right.
That they can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like they're not going to find a writer to do that. These people, these other there's no struggle for anything.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing.
like even
with the
Thor,
multiverse,
yeah,
they even said like, well, multiverse, they can kill. Well, spoiler alert, they can kill Patrick Stewart 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like they don't like it doesn't, because he's
makes
just a
no
different
difference.
dude in a different universe, right?
everything they say like everything happens everywhere to everyone. So it's like, so there's a universe where there's somebody that's done this or somebody that's done that, and we can kill that person and bring that person. It's like, so it starts to just not matter. And then you have these characters that are so underdeveloped that, I don't like, like Kate Bishop, like she gets a montage at the beginning of the movie. Oh, so look at her. She's doing gymnastics. Oh, she's so good with the bow and arrow and stuff. And it's just like, and then the only way to sort of like prop her up is to make Hawkeye and all the villains look like idiots.
Yeah.
Like they're like literally stupid. It's like
When they should be training. Like that was the one thing
Yeah.
about like Doctor Strange. I was like, well, how come he didn't spend more time trying to teach her? Like when they had time together, spend more time trying to teach her how to develop her power, or how to
Right.
get,
Yeah.
try something.
like
else.
she was at
Let's go into the
Cogmatage, like
mirror
she was,
universe, and
it's-
let's try and see if you can get your thing to go. And if
Yeah.
it screws up, it's not.
Yeah.
Like we're in the mirror dimension, so
but it's
nothing's bad.
it's like that's the thing. Like Doctor Strange went through struggle. Like he had like a personality flaw.
There's like 15 minutes in the movie of him trying to develop his power.
There's like it's like he had a personality flaw
Yeah.
that was so crippling, like that his avarice, his narcissism, and he gets beat down to nothing. Like they had to show that. They're like, look, he like lost the use of his hands. He's lost all of his money. They intentionally have a scene where she goes into his apartment that's empty because he's sold all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Just to try to get his hands back. Like
you feel the
you
pain.
feel the pain
You
in
can-
that.
You can relate to that.
Yeah, and then
character.
when he's like in dredges on the floor of on the steps of Cogmatage, and he's just like, this is all I have. Like if this is it, right? I'll kill myself. Like that's, or Thor. Like even Thor, for all of his like, he was 1,000 years old. Like that's the other thing they forget. He's 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
So for 990 years, he had a warped sense of like who he was, what his role was. He's walking around flipping his hammer around. I'm going to be king. I can defeat anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, and they literally had to take it all away to,
Well, they took it so far away that they gave him pretty much like a borderline PTSD like
yeah,
personality,
right.
right?
You know,
And
and you know, that,
because he was like, well, everything's all good, and then Thanos came in and just took everything.
yeah, like he was all, well, from movie number
Well,
one,
yeah.
he was already like, hey, this maybe I need to start I need to start evolving and being better.
Yeah.
And, you know, whereas now it's works the other way, where it's like, instead of us taking away everything all at once and then the struggle of getting it all back, we're just giving these characters everything.
Yeah.
It's just like Captain Marvel too. Like, she didn't work for anything.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
she's
like,
got the powers, got taken.
Yeah.
They trained her.
yeah, it was
Nothing
more,
was
yeah,
crazy.
it was more her being like, oh shit, I'm way better than everybody.
Yeah.
It was like the struggle was her deciding how good she is.
Well, and then the cockiness of it,
Yeah.
that threw me off too.
You know, but it's like, so who are these?
So meaning in a character. When they've eliminated the meaning in a character.
Yes, the struggle of the character.
The struggle,
like,
the meaning in the character.
to quote,
that's
you know,
really difficult.
the hero's journey, right? It's like to not be able to have one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, so with that in mind, I just don't get where all they have left is the like fan service.
Yeah.
All they have left is like, oh, look, it's Wolverine. Oh yeah, it's Wolverine. But we don't have to make a good movie anymore. That's, you know, it's like, because it's like, oh shit, okay, we'll just bring in this person.
That origin story happened. It was like,
What a pile
I
of
wanted
crap.
to stab my own eyeballs out with a fork. I was like, this
Fox-
is horrible.
Fox didn't know what they were
just
doing.
messed that up.
You know?
So one thing we haven't touched base on in Doctor Strange, the massive cameos that showed up.
But well, that falls into this.
Yeah, and then were completely obliterated with shockingly
Ease, with
like,
shocking ease.
shocking
Yeah.
ease, right?
Yeah.
And like that. I guess that is the other thing that was I loved about the Wanda character, and I didn't realize it until WandaVision. They kind of pursued it a little bit funky, but WandaVision made me realize just how much Wanda lost. Like, she was the only one of the Avengers that never got anything back at the end. When the snap happened,
Yeah.
everything.
Which is a
I
great-
guess Gamora. Well, no, they got Gamora back.
Just
and
like
it
Gamora
was
that
Black
doesn't.
Widow. Black Widow, they didn't get back. But no one was like in a relationship. They all liked her and maybe they loved her, but they didn't. No one was in a relationship where like there was meaning there. Whereas Wanda and Vision, when she had to kill him, then he was brought back and killed again. So she had to kill him, then she had to watch him die.
Yeah.
And then she goes into that psychological, again, PTSD, creates a world of her own, and creates kids with the love of her life that she wanted. Like, you didn't realize I didn't feel like until the last couple of episodes of WandaVision where I was like, whoa, like, yeah, like, I don't think people did pay attention to just how crushed Wanda would have been at the end of all this because of everybody.
Right.
She lost everything. She lost
then-
her brothers.
see-
She lost everything. And so I think like that was some of the best character development, unknowingly character development, and they had to bring that to the forefront, which they did a really good job of. But then in this episode, like, I never saw her as the bad guy. Like, and that was really good on Marvel in the promo material.
Yeah.
I was wondering who the bad guy was going to be in Doctor
Yeah.
Strange.
Right.
And there was all these things like, well, it's going to be.
Or I thought it was Mordo maybe going around
they were
killing
like
everyone.
Mordo or the other guy. Oh crap! I can't remember his name now. Basically, the leader of Hell, not Satan, but
Mephisto.
Like Mephisto, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, we're gonna get this really like wild a bad guy reveal, right? And then when it turned out to be Wanda was the bad guy, like when she made the orchards disappear, and I picked up on it right away as soon as she said Chavez's name, and Doctor Strange started falling back on the, and I'm like,
which is cool, but
never told her, and then and I was like, oh, okay, this is all awesome, and so I was invested all the way up into there. I was like, this is gnarly. When was it Gormagor with the tentacle with the eyeball?
I forget his name.
Yeah, but when like his eyeball got popped out with the spear, I was like, oh shit, like whoa. And then I was invested all the way up to there, and then I'm trying to think of where I just kind of lost. I'm just trying to remember exactly what point it was that I was like, oh, what's going on here? But yeah, like all of that, and then going like, whoa, okay, so she's not really. But there was one line that he said, well, once we find out, we got to find out who this is that's sending everybody after you. But we already knew, or we were pretty sure it was already Wanda. But then Doctor Strange said that line. And I was like, okay, well, maybe there still is
Yeah.
a mystery.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't. It was always her. Yeah, really, really interesting to just kind of talk about Wanda again in that. And then there was rumors that White Vision was going to show up in this one,
Right.
which, that didn't happen.
But again, but I guess that's I don't know.
The reveal of the Illuminati was cool. Like I was
Yeah.
looking forward to that moment. Seeing them all die was like, whoa, what the holy shit. Like they didn't even leave. Well, I guess the only one that didn't die was Mordo.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, holy shit. And the way they killed him was just vicious. Other than Captain Marvel, I was like, a statue fell on her. Like,
Ow.
yeah,
Statue
like for her,
Yeah.
she would have been like, she punches holes through ships in space with like
Yeah.
a block of
It
wood
was a
falling
bit-
on her, a
yeah.
block of stone falling on her would have been a joke. And you just see that dead arm out there, cutting Carter in half. Damn.
That was some bad CGI though with her. I don't understand why they need to put like, okay, here's another problem. Because they did that in the Halo movie. It's a separate issue and it's a separate thing, but the Halo series is a pile of crap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they do it there too. Why are you CGIing female heads onto dudes, onto like ridiculously bulked bodies?
Yeah.
You don't have to do, like, they didn't do that with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. Like,
Everybody on that looked rough. Like
Yes.
even like you saw age. Like, and I don't know if they were trying to do that on purpose. Like
Maybe.
even Krasinski looked
a little
rough.
And Krasinski,
and
it looked
weird.
like they had him CGI'd on a blue. It almost looked like a little bit like the first Green Lantern movie.
Yes, actually, yeah, actually, you're right.
Like it was kind of, why can't he just be wearing a good suit?
Yeah.
And then just have him in all of his whatever he's got going on. Just
yeah,
and
so that was a little strange. Also, the robots, they
didn't look great either. The Ultron bots.
They looked cheesy.
Yeah, they didn't look as good as in Ultron.
You know what they reminded me of? Power Rangers.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was very like, well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not really the direction or not really the creativity I was looking for. And I was hoping that those robots would play more of a role, especially with the whole, like the What If series. And like, I mean, Ultron actually becomes like damn near the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. No mention of Infinity Stones. They're a thing of the past now. This whole multiverse, I'm gonna read this Secret Wars paperback and just kind of see what exactly this whole potential
but
could be.
that's the problem. Is like, I don't get the secret. Like, are the Secret Wars then like 10 more movies ahead, like from now? Because they're not doing no Secret Wars with the characters they have now.
Well, and even the lineup, like
what
Black
are they?
Panther, that lineup.
Yeah.
They've got the what is it? Not Iron Wars. What's the Iron Man one that they've got?
Oh,
coming up?
Ironheart.
Ironheart.
Which again, see, that's the other thing. So Ironheart, it's just stupid because you have one of the smartest men on planet Earth, or who was, with, when he's like Tony Stark built this in a cave with a pile of scraps, and the guy's like, well, I'm not Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, so that's all worthless.
Yeah.
Like it's like the guy's dead.
You would need to step up the game from that. Like if you had the smartest dude on the planet and now you're
right.
Now, and you got to step that up.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like, again, it's the same thing where it's like nothing is earned.
Yeah.
Everything is just given.
Yeah.
So then how can it be worth anything?
Yeah,
so you're going to have Ironheart, like you're going to have like female Iron Man, female teenage Iron Man, female Hawkeye, female, like, and I'm not saying it can't be a whole female team. Like, who cares? But it's just like, I don't care about them.
Well, they just haven't told the story. They just haven't.
And
they
other
haven't
guys
put the effort in.
And other guys had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Other YouTubers and other commentators had a problem with it. I liked that scene in Endgame where, how are we going to get through all that? It's like, oh, we got her. And it just so happened that it was like the female fire team.
Yeah.
It just so happened.
That was a great nod.
It was great. Like, I thought it was cool because it's just like, oh yeah, you don't realize that, oh, it's been 25 movies. They've collected some badass chicks through this thing.
Yes.
And I didn't mind that at all. I thought it was really good.
Actually, all the girls in the original, like, I thought they did a good job with Black Widow's development.
Yeah.
The girls from Wakanda.
Yeah, they're badass, right?
Like, they're so awesome.
It's just
so
like,
awesome.
and I even liked, when they're fighting.
And,
a little nice nod I liked was when they were fighting it was one of the very few things about Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier, that fight scene, and then when she puts the spear through the thing, and then he can't pull it out. That's cool.
That was so awesome.
So I mean, there's cool stuff, and
that's probably the best part of that entire series. Now that I think about it, And when she disables his arm and it falls off, I was like, did you know they could do that? Nope.
It's details. It's like it just falls off.
That was so good.
We gave that to you.
That was so good.
It was cool. It was.
There was some good stuff in that one.
And
then there's that whole world. I know we're a little off Doctor Strange, but there's one more thing I want to get back to on that one. But then there's the whole world of I'm so bad at these names. The girl from Seinfeld there who's collecting everybody.
Oh,
so
right.
She's got Black Widow's sister. She's got
the U.S. agent.
And she's going around collecting. And then the other SHIELD agent,
Coulson?
No, not Coulson. The girl.
What's her name? But she's with Fury, isn't she?
No. She's on her own. So in Winter Soldier, she was. I think she's the head of that underground syndicate that's doing all that other side
sorry,
stuff.
I forgot. Agent.
I know. Crap.
Yeah.
Shit.
We
suck. All right.
Yeah.
So there's that whole thing going on too. Like, there's just so much going on. You're like, I don't know what the hell I'm following.
Yeah.
But going back to Doctor Strange, having I can't stop calling him Picard, having Professor X in there, and not giving you any backing to him whatsoever, so you have to watch all the other stuff. Well, you have to watch basically the animated series only to understand him, really.
Yeah.
And then how are we going to bring in mutants? And then with the Inhumans, how they killed that guy was like shutting his mouth and having his head explode. I was like, what the holding the guy? Okay. But yeah, anyway, so there's so much more. We have so much more to cover. We are at a time though.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the question. Where's the MCU going?
Yeah.
Are they going to land it?
Yeah.
Or are they in real big trouble?
Okay, comment.
Think about that.
Comment below and give us your thoughts, because I really want to know what other people think too. I know there's probably a bazillion of these that I want to know, like, based off of what we've just discussed.
Are we giving are we giving it a rating? Are we giving the movies ratings now, or should we just, or we leave that open?
Oh man, yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know. What do you think?
We should, because like honestly, like, yeah, there's a couple things you could rate the movie on, like between like, story, characters.
Because sometimes, like you said, who cares about how good the movie was, but this aha moment was so important to the overall thing.
Yes.
I'm glad it happened. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think it, as an experience going in, watching it, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
But I'm harsh too. I'm serious with my review numbers. 6.2 out of 10.
6.2. The graphics were gnarly. Like when he
the visuals, yes.
Yeah, when he came up as the zombie and he has that cloak of demons that is
except those demons were stupid.
The demons were stupid.
I didn't like they're like, nah. They literally were saying that.
Yeah, that's true. I loved the scene where he just went like that and all the arms came out of him and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics on that were awesome. Really shitty ending on Wanda's arc. Not happy with that at all. I'd almost give it a 5.
5, okay.
Yeah, on my end of things, because if we were just to go off of like, oh wow, that's cool, but it went nowhere. Like with the Illuminati.
Yep.
I would say like 5. Like, I'm in the middle of the fence, and now that might change depending on
what happens. Yeah.
If they can explain or tell, but I don't think they will. I think all of that was just fan fan service with the characters, with Krasinski as Fantastic Four or Mr. Fantastic, Carter coming in to give ode to the What If series.
Yeah,
I really feel like
that
they were
entire
just trying
section,
to just fan
that
serve.
that act was useless.
It was.
because they had to invent a power, sleepwalking, to like get her into that universe because she couldn't follow them in.
Yeah.
They had to invent that. The Illuminati did nothing, and the book that they went there to get got burned up.
Yeah.
The whole point of them going there, she was like, ha, and it was just like gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was a little just kind of cheap fan service.
Pretty much.
Fan casting too.
Yeah.
When the fan casts somebody, they're like, oh yeah, okay, we can throw them in at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's
awesome.
it, man.
5 and a 6.2. Tell us what you think, and
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. We're done. We're gonna do this. We're going.
We say that all the
no around here. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Bye.